Hello and welcome. Today we will be discussing about the book Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. So, Lady Chatterley's Lover is a book written by D.H. Lawrence, which is published in the year 1928. The book also has a subtitle that is known as a novel of passion and controversy. So, let's delve into a little more about the book. The book was published in 1928 to be a very controversial and it was banned in many countries due to its explicit content. The book basically explores the themes of class, love, and sexuality. In the book, we see exploration of class, that is through division, how society divided people into different class. Love, we see elements of love. Love was the main element in this book that brings us the other themes of the book, that is class and sexuality. And thirdly, sexuality has also been explored very detailed in very deeply in this novel. So further, we also get to know that this book was very controversial and it got banned in very many countries due to its explicit content. Now let's get to know about the author. So the author is D.H. Lawrence. He was born in 1885 in England. He's also known for, he's basically mostly known for exploring themes of human relationships and emotions. So most of his books explore the themes of emotions and human relationships, because human relationships in some of his books are Women in Love and Sons in Lovers. Both of these books explore human relationships and their how emotions were not being expressed properly in that era. There are particular divisions in emotions that you can express this emotions particularly and you cannot express other emotions. For example, the theme of sexuality, where he brings out how sexuality and desires of men were expressed very firmly, but when it came to women, it was not being explored properly. So that is the reason why this book was considered to be explicit, because this particularly highlights sexual desires and physical desires of a lady, the main lady, that is we will get to know through the characters now. So the characters in the movie, there are three main characters in this novel. That is Lady Constance, she is also known as Connie, and is Oliver Mellors. He is the gamekeeper. So Lady Chatterley, who is she? Lady Chatterley, she was called as Lady Constance and a nickname Connie. But after she got married to Sir Clifford Chatterley, she was addressed as Lady Chatterley. So Lady Chatterley, she is the main protagonist of this novel, and she is a very young and vibrant kind of a woman. She struggles with her emotions and societal expectations. Throughout the novel, we will say that because of societal expectations, now that she is a lady and she's married to somebody of a higher position, she was being pressured to behave in a certain way, and she couldn't express herself because of that. And we can see that throughout the novel. And then the next character, that is Mr. Sir Clifford Chatterley, he was Connie's husband. He was paralyzed from the waist down till his feet because he got injured during war. And he was an intellectual, and he was a very kind and a good-hearted human throughout the novel. But the only thing that he missed was to build a connection with Connie, because Lady Chatterley, because he was emotionally distant from her. So that's what that builds the base of the story for this novel. Next, we will see another character, that is Oliver Mellors. Oliver Mellors was the gamekeeper of in the Ragpie Hall. Ragpie Hall is the setting of the place where this novel happens. And then Oliver Mellors is a gamekeeper. He's very natural and raw in passion, and he expresses whatever he feels without having the need to be pressured by society and stuff like that. Next we will learn about the themes a bit deeply. So the themes in this novel, but before the themes, let's explore the summary. So to understand the summary, well, I will say that the story begins with Lady Chatterley. In this novel, It follows the story of Lady Chatterley, that is Connie. She was trapped in a loveless marriage with Sir Clifford because after he got paralyzed, they couldn't get they couldn't have any sexual connection, and also that made them lose that emotional connection also that they had with them, and they weren't able to talk about it also, because whenever Connie initiated it, mm, uh, Sir Clifford rather stopped it or didn't give a hint to her desires, and that only built a distance among their relationship. So Lady Chatterley's lover was trapped in a loveless marriage with Sir Clifford, who was paralyzed and also was emotionally totally distant from Connie. And Connie begins so it goes on like that until she finds this third character, that is Oliver Mellors, one day, and she decides to be more close to him. And then Oliver Mellors is a gamekeeper on this estate. That estate that is the Rabbi Hall, and then challenging the strict laws and boundaries of the society, they fall in love. After a few love making, they fall in love, and then their love was so compassionate that they forget the positions they hold in the society, where Mellors was just a gamekeeper and Connie was a lady. And then the novel begins and then ends with this particular concept. The novel explores themes of sexual liberation, class conflict, and also industrialization and nature. Due to this explicit content, the book was also later banned. So by the end of the novel, we see that despite of all the trauma, all the problems that they go through, that is in the beginning of the movie, we see Connie like being depressed about it, and then not as she was not having she was unable to build a connection with her husband, and she felt so distant. And then she felt more distant from him when Sir Clifford asked her to have a baby with somebody else and give him his title so that they will have a heir to their kingdom, the heir to their kingdom, not basically kingdom but heir to them. So that was what made her feel more distant, because she was rather shocked by the fact that her own husband is allowing and then pushing her to have a physical relationship with somebody else just to have a heir. So that is also was the beginning, and the beginning where their relationship started to depart slowly, destroy slowly. So in the next scenes, we see that how Connie, while exploring the nearby sceneries, she discovers this place where Oliver stays, and then just when with 2-3 meetings and then having to have a conversation with him, she discovers that she's actually in love with him. At first it was just a love making process, but when she meets him for more than twice and thrice, she understands that it's more than that. At first it was, as a reader, we can see that it was just like a she was craving, she had this urge to build a connection with somebody, but later as the story processed, we get to know that she was rather in love with Connie, Connie was rather in love with Oliver. So the story processes and it goes on. By the end of the story, everybody despises their relationship because of the society class and then their status in the society. And then by the end, they part away for a few moments, but then Oliver sends a message to Connie to come and meet her, and then she agrees with it and she searches for him, and then she finds him, and then she comes back to him, and that's how the story ends. So now the themes of the poem is about like how class conflict. The novel highlights the difference between aristocracy and the working class. Aristocracy here can be put as Sir Clifford, and then working class can be put as a gamekeeper, that is Oliver Mellors. And then it explores also themes of sexual liberation, where a focus on physical and emotional aspect of love and sexuality is being shown, where it is shown that just having love is also not enough, where where Sir Clifford thought that he had love for Connie, and that was enough to build a relationship, and where Connie thought that she had just sexual relationship with Mellors, but it was it didn't stop there, and it went further, where she fell in love with him. And so basically it's like both need to be balanced, and in order for a relationship to be function, for marital relationship to function. So that's what's being shown. And then how industrialization, that's important. Industrialization, it contrasts the mechanical world with the natural and sensual world. Here the decline of aristocracy and the rise of the industrial power led many to lose their jobs. Like for example, the third character is Oliver Mellers. He lost his job because due to this rise in industrialization, and then he had to come back from war. And when war ended and many people came back from war, and then women were thrown out of the working places because their husbands came back, and this led to deflation and like so much chaos. And by this we also can proceed to the symbols presented in the poem. The first is nature and industry. So the contrast between nature, environment and industrialization is evident throughout the novel. We can see it. Then the body, that is physical love and human body, are the central symbols in this novel. Representations of freedom and connection is also shown. And then the Rugby Hall. The Rugby Hall symbolizes the cold, intellectual and world of the upper class, where they don't have emotions and human relations to express themselves, and it's just like humans existing. That's it. So lastly, we will talk about the controversy and the censorship that was speaking about in the beginning of my video. That is, controversy erupted because of this particular sexual exploration that Lawrence put it in the novel. That is, the novel was banned for obscenity in several countries. Legal battles were also held when this was published and then distributed, but later it was considered as to be one of the most prominent writings of Lawrence. Impact. We'll talk about the impact. That is, it played a significant role in. The impact happened was like because after a certain time it played a significant role in changing the mindsets of people who were like against this ideology of sexual exploration of women expressing their sexual desires and everything. So by the end, people accepted the novel, and censorship and freedom of expression in literature was expressed through this novel. Then we will also talk about the critical reception. The critical reception of this novel is that initial reception, mixed reviews. Some were praising the novel in its literary merit, and others were condemning it because of its explicit content. Then the legacy that the novel left behind was that today it is regarded as one of the classics of literature, and then it continues to be studied for its exploration of human relationship and also societal norms. Lastly, I would like to conclude this by saying that Lady Chatterley's Lover is a very powerful exploration of love, class and sexuality. Lawrence had challenged societal norms, censorship and overcoming all of this and caring about nothing. He wrote this novel which left a lasting effect and legacy in literature till today. So in order to understand the book better, I can give some few references to you. That is, you can check for further reading and to understand the author more. You can read the novels such as Woman in Love and Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence, and also you can search for more understanding and in-depth understanding about D.H. Lawrence and then also his works. Thank you.